Now, when we're talking about cloud solutions, we really need to understand the various levels of cloud solutions that are available, that are being offered. I reference those as X as a service. And today, almost anything and everything is configured as a service. If you're watching this course today, you're utilizing learning as a service. So it's really become a structural way of referencing the solutions that are offered in cloud services and cloud offerings. Let's look specifically at these three here: software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. Those three types of offerings are available with Microsoft Azure. The main difference between them is essentially how much of the work you'll be doing yourself versus how much of the work will be managed by someone else. And that someone else is usually a cloud provider. So I'm actually going to work my way up and down this list, first starting with infrastructure as a service. Microsoft Azure provides infrastructure as a service in the form of the actual hardware, the actual electricity, the actual air conditioning, the actual backplane that runs all of the hardware and the networking pieces that you need in order to store your data or store your virtual machines, and all of those that will be hosted by Microsoft Azure. So that backend infrastructure gives you the ability to build the services, the solutions that you will then be responsible for. So Microsoft provides the infrastructure support or the infrastructure services, and you can then build your solutions on top of that. That is infrastructure as a service. Microsoft Azure also provides platform as a service. Now, platform as a service is the actual web services or web servers or database servers that are running in Azure. That's the platform. It's the platform on which you can deploy your applications. So let's say you have a custom application or a custom database that you want to deploy, and you don't want to manage the virtual machines. You don't want to manage the web servers. Microsoft Azure can provide for you the platform, the web servers, the database servers, the firewall services onto which you will then be able to deploy your web application, your custom database, or your security rules in the form of a firewall. So the platform is provided in the form of those servers or services, and then you can deploy onto that platform your applications, your data, your rules. Then we have software as a service. Software as a service goes to another level where essentially all of the infrastructure, all of the platform, and even all of the software is being hosted by the cloud offering. So the end result is that an actual service, a software application, is becoming available to be consumed by your users. A great example of that are the Microsoft 365 workloads. Microsoft 365 workloads such as Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, Microsoft Teams, and many others are a great example of software as a service because all it is that the user consumes and sees is the software, the end application. All of it is hosted by the cloud provider, Microsoft in this case. The user consumes the end application and the service with no access or visibility into the backend infrastructure that's managing the software. You don't know where that service is running, where that server is running, or how it's building out that solution for you. You just have the solution available, the service, the application available, the software. It's running as a service, and you can access it as an end user. So depending on which offering you choose, you will pay for the different types of subscription levels and different type of service plans to have access to the different functionalities and different offerings. Microsoft Azure provides all three of those offerings using a multitude of different solutions and workloads. However, as we move along and cloud computing becomes more and more mature and evolved as a solution, we see that the distinction between IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS those lines between those three types of offerings become a little bit blurred. Some even say that the services that are being offered, the application, the solutions, are more important than the actual types of cloud offerings. And there are a growing number of types of services and offerings in public clouds, such as Azure. And I want to go through some of these offerings to highlight the fact that whether some of these are infrastructure or platform, because some of these sometimes are both, it's less important than the type of service and the type of solution that is being offered. So in a cloud offering, we have data storage services, for example, where you're able to store your files, store little bits of data called blobs, or store very large databases, or store your data in existing databases. Depending on the type of data, how your data is structured, and how much of it you want to store and how you want it to be accessed, there are multitudes of built-in data storage services in Azure, and there are others provided by third-party vendors through the Azure Marketplace, where you can actually purchase those services as well by those third parties. There are compute services where essentially you are hosting virtual machines and all of the resources to compute and calculate whatever it is that you need to be processed in the cloud. That can be done. So it can be done either through virtual machines, or there are a number of other types of compute services that offer these types of computation solutions in Azure. There are networking services, networking solutions that allow you to virtualize network, create firewall solutions to secure access. All of these types of networking solutions are designed to be able to create these isolated segments and provide connectivity between segments and servers and users, and essentially provide access to the resources that you have in the cloud. There are application services, so specific applicative services such as identity. Azure Active Directory, Azure AD is an example of an application service where it provides the ability to authenticate users as they access resources in the cloud. We also have an amazing addition to the cloud. One of the things that have become more and more important in the cloud of late is AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. The type of compute resources and storage resources that are required to be able to provide AI solutions and machine learning solutions are only available in the cloud. They are really at scale. To be able to build an application that can compute and process a tremendous amount of data in real time and then output recommendations based on that data, those are the types of artificial intelligence solutions that are built into Azure. Those really require the scale of the cloud and something that really the cloud only can provide. The Internet of Things is something that of late is also becoming very relevant, and its connectivity through the cloud as well, providing large amount of data processing and data streaming in real time. When we have an Internet of Things solution, we have potentially hundreds of thousands of processors that are capturing data and that need to gather that data, stream that data, and then decisions need to be made quickly based on that data through a central database and computing solution. And that's where a solution like Azure, that's when an Azure cloud is able to provide a meaningful solution for IoT products and IoT solutions in the cloud. So these are examples of services that are provided in a public cloud offering such as Azure. And there are many more that are constantly being added into the Microsoft Azure solution. So I highly suggest that you keep on going through the Azure portals and the Azure tools and documentation to see what Microsoft has recently added to the Azure cloud.